I think it's more. I think even think it's easier. The striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Bilal because he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional.
Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns. On the feet, there's absolutely no question. Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. It wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion.
Jack Della Maddalena is set to defend his belt against Islam Makhachev at UFC 322 and surprise fans by saying Belal Muhammad's striking is tougher to deal with than Islam's. He explained that Islam's traditional one-stand style makes him more predictable, though he still respects him as the pound-for-pound number one and admits it's a tough fight. Jack said his team will study Islam carefully and build a strong game plan.
I think Islam Makhachev is a better version of Bilal. I think his striking on the feet is. I think it's more. I think even think it's easier. The striking on the feet, I think it's easier than Bilal because he'll stay in one stance. He's more traditional style. But yeah, he's the pound for pound number one. So it's a tough fight. But I guess we'll watch all these fights again, make a solid game plan, and then just start working at it. From pretty much now, I'm going to start working on ways to beat him, different ways to get back to my feet, stuffing the takedown. But I'm pretty confident.
Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, responded to Jack Della Maddalena's comments by warning him not to underestimate Islam's striking. He said that if Jack thinks it will be easy, he's in for a rude awakening, emphasizing that no striker has an easy time with Islam and that fighting him feels very different once you're actually inside the cage.
An interview just, I think, this week, and he broke down that he believes Islam's stand-up is a little bit easier to deal with than Bilal's because Islam has more of a traditional style for his stand-up. Do you feel like people are kind of missing some of the X factors that Islam brings with his striking?
If he's saying that, I hope that he goes in believing that, because when he gets in there with Islam, you're going to find out a whole different story because I'm sorry, they're completely different. And by no means is Islam an easy for anybody on the stand-up. Any MMA fighter that's a striker that's not going to have an easy time with him. I've been with this kid like going on 11 years of watching him just destroy everybody on the stand-up, guys that are much better stand-up than him, and he still destroys them. So, no, don't go by what you see. When you get in there with that man, it's a whole different.
Jack Della Maddalena's coach, Ben Vickers, is confident ahead of UFC 322, saying Islam Makhachev won't withstand Jack's power. He believes Islam lacks Belal Muhammad's durability and warns that one clean shot from Jack could end the fight at any moment, with his cardio and KO power making him dangerous in all rounds.
Islam has the chin that Bilal has.
Do you feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round? Or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute. It could happen in the 24th minute. It could happen in the 24 minute, 59 seconds. It could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights. You know, he likes to be in there. But obviously we're not getting paid for overtime. So if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Bilal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight. I really do.
And Vickers says Islam Makhachev won't rush recklessly, but will still look to close distance early and force Jack into grappling. He explains that keeping it standing too long risks Jack's knockout power. So Islam will likely avoid extended striking exchanges and drag the fight into his own world.
I'm going to ask you, do you think it's straight away shooting in, establishing his wrestling, getting JDM up against the fence? Or do you think he goes out there and actually tries to test his striking against you guys?
No, I don't think he's going to go out and try and test his striking, but I also don't think he's going to rush. You know what I mean? He's a very composed guy. He's a very high level, skillful person. You know, he's not going to rush and be running at Jack's hips, you know, but he is going to try and get hold of Jack as quickly as possible, even if it's just to try and tire him out in the early parts of the fight and get him into his world quickly. He will take.
Ben Vickers says Khabib Nurmagomedov often pushes Islam Makhachev to wrestle more, so he expects that influence here. He believes Islam will look for early takedowns without being reckless, using his composure and striking only when needed. The clear plan, Vickers explains, is to drag Jack Della Maddalena to the canvas with calm, calculated pressure.
For as long as possible. And we've all heard Khabib in the corner really like chastising Islam when he doesn't go for the takedown. So I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of input from Khabib in trying to get Islam to shoot the takedown often and early, but there's going to be no rush and no panic. I mean, this guy is cool, calm, collected, and composed, and he's a phenomenal fighter. So I think he's definitely going to go for takedowns early, but I don't think he's going to like charge in and try and get the hips at all costs. He backs himself on the feet. He's a decent striker, you know. So
Michael Bisping says he wouldn't be shocked if Jack Della Maddalena upsets Islam Makhachev at UFC 322. He highlights Jack's size, strong takedown defense, and elite boxing, noting that Jack is on another level right now and has a real shot at leaving with the belt.
Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, that has been announced, but I'll tell you what, Jack Della Maddalena is bigger. He showed that he can stop takedowns on the feet. There's absolutely no question. Jack Della Maddalena is on another level. He's probably got the best, cleanest boxing in the UFC. It wouldn't surprise me if we see an upset here and Jack Della Maddalena is still the champion.
Michael Bisping expressed surprise at how strongly Islam Makhachev has been favored against Jack Della Maddalena. He suggested that the betting odds underestimate Jack, noting his impressive 18-fight winning streak and his recent victory over Belal Muhammad, where Jack successfully defended every takedown attempt. Bisping further cautioned that if Islam decides to keep the fight standing, it might backfire, since Jack's sharp boxing skills and solid footwork could give him a serious opportunity to win.
That Islam Makhachev is quite a sizable favorite according to DraftKings, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure I saw that online earlier this morning. And I think that's a little bit disrespectful to Jack Della Maddalena. The man's on an 18-fight winning streak. He just beat Belal Muhammad. He defended all the takedowns there. He's beaten grapplers before in the past. Yes, Islam Makhachev is incredible, you know, and he'd be another contender for pound number one, greatest of all time, whatever you want to call it. But Belal Muhammad was a perfect warm-up fight for Islam Makhachev. And with the boxing of Jack, if Islam was to stand with him, that'd be a bad idea. With Jack's boxing and the footwork that is associated with boxing, that's going to help him. That's going to be very advantageous. He knows how to defend the takedown. He knows what he's doing off his back. He can get back to his feet. So yeah, I mean, I understand why Islam is a slight favorite, because he's tried and tested and the greatest lightweight fighter that the sport's ever seen. But don't be surprised if Jack Della Maddalena...
Colby Covington predicts Islam Makhachev will beat Jack Della Maddalena. He notes Islam is moving up from lightweight, but his all-around skills make him a threat. Covington believes if Islam secures a takedown and controls the fight, he's likely to win. And despite the size difference, he sides with Makhachev as the favorite.
JDM, what do you make of that? Islam moving up to now welterweight?
Yeah, it's an interesting fight. I'm excited to see how it goes. You know, Islam, you know, is a lightweight. He's going to be a little smaller in the fight, but he's a well-rounded fighter. So, you know, if he's able to take down JDM and control him, you know, he could definitely get the job done. But it's going to be interesting to see how the size advantage plays a difference in the fight.
Who do you favor?
I mean, I seen the odds were pretty big. They favored Makhachev like 3-1. So I guess I got to go with the odds if they're going 3-1. But just because JDM doesn't have good takedown defense, but you never know. It's a fight, and JDM has some good hands, so it should be.
Robert Whitaker said he's surprised that Islam Makhachev gave up the lightweight title. While fighters sometimes follow trends, Islam's status as a top UFC star makes this move unexpected, as the promotion would likely want him to hold the belt longer.
Expected was the relinquishing of the lightweight title.
They don't want to do it anymore. No one can be double champ technically anymore.
I expected it in a sense that because Topuria did it, people would have to follow suit. But Islam's kind of like the poster boy right now for the UFC in terms of like mega star sort of things, right? Yeah, I didn't see them doing that, but I'm all for it. Don't get me wrong, because I think double champs has really stalled the division. You know what I mean? So I'm happy they can the lightweight division can move on.
Robert Whitaker gives the edge to Jack Della Maddalena, saying Jack's toughness can handle Islam Makhachev's wrestling. He notes Jack's striking could decide the fight if it stays standing, and Islam might be cautious with takedowns, knowing Jack is still dangerous from his back.
Has that X factor. I think he has the gut, the grit, the determination to fight the takedowns, to fight the ground, the takedown attacks that Islam is going to go for. And I think in a striking fight, straight up, Jack is better. I think he wins in the hands. Yeah. I think Jack's got the better game to strike over 5 rounds than Islam does as well, especially if Islam is trying to go for takedowns during the fight. Yeah. I think, and this is people sleep on Jack's grappling game. They sleep on his jiu-jitsu. I don't think Islam is going to be as like gun-ho with the takedowns as everybody believes, because Jack has...
Robert Whitaker predicts Islam Makhachev will use his kicks, recalling how effective they were against Alexander Volkanovski. He notes Jack Della Maddalena has struggled with kicks before, and once Islam slows him down, he could mix in takedowns to control the fight.
Yeah.
I do think Islam has got the kick superiority, and if Jack doesn't address that, which he hasn't in a lot of his fights, the kicks, he's going to get kicked a lot. Okay, Islam likes throwing kicks. He used that very well against Volk as well. I think that's going to be a game plan of Islam, is try and wear him down with those kicks, take a takedown when they see him. But I can see him really going heavy in the kicks. External factors aside as well, Jack has nothing to lose.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? As well. And I think Islam's got everything to lose. He's the hottest prospect right now.
Sean Brady says he's a fan of Islam Makhachev and sees a future fight with him as a career-defining grappling challenge. However, for this matchup, he leans toward Jack Della Maddalena, believing the underdog could pull off a surprising upset.
I want to fight Islam as for a legacy thing, and I think I can beat Islam. I think I can beat anybody in the world. And I want to grapple. I want my grappling to go against his grappling and see who's better. You know, I really would love for that to play out. But if I had to pick, I know
Alexander Volkanovski praised Jack Della Maddalena's growth, especially after his strong win over Belal Muhammad. He highlighted Jack's improved takedown defense and believes this version can challenge even top wrestlers like Islam Makhachev.
Della Maddalena would lose. He got injury. It was like almost 2 years without fight. Yeah. And then he come to different level, bro. He was like gonna be a board fight by points and things like that. But bro, what he did was really good work. He grew up a lot.
Yeah, but
he come a different level.
Yeah, but Islam is a different animal. And if there's one thing that I could say in that fight, Islam Makhachev, he gets on top of you.
Yeah.
He's a blanket, bro. Yeah. Top control that Islam has in comparison to Belal is completely.
Israel Adesanya also supports Jack Della Maddalena to beat Islam Makhachev. He believes Islam could struggle with Jack's scrambles and his ability to reset on his feet, expressing full confidence and planning to watch the fight live.
Chev is going to be fighting Jack Della Maddalena. How do you think those two match up?
I think Jack's fight against Belal was a perfect fight for leading into that. Just purely, you take a lot out of stop and takedowns, because again, there's every fighter still going to have little doubts that are going to creep in. You know, I'm sure Jack was going through that, being like, all right, like, you know, worried about, you know, what if he takes me down and all that. But the fact that he was able to stop it and feel so comfortable, I guarantee you he's leveled up again. His confidence in his takedowns has just went up significantly leading into this fight. I think his confidence is going to be at a whole nother level. So through camp, like, I guarantee you, if he's back in training right now, people trying to take him down are going to find it almost impossible. You know, only the top guys are going to have a chance of taking him down.
Luke Rockhold called Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena a thrilling matchup. While he respects Jack's wrestling, Islam's lifelong grappling gives him the edge. Rockhold also noted Jack's size could be a factor, having trained with Islam and seen the difference firsthand.
Della is going to get it done. Islam would feel like he bit off more than he could chew once he gets in there with him, because his scrambles are crazy, and I feel he's going to knock him out, because I just think he's not going to be able to hand with him on the scrambles or when he gets back up.
Former welterweight champion Belal Muhammad predicts Islam Makhachev will use his grappling and disciplined approach to control Jack Della Maddalena. He highlights Islam's ability to stick to his game plan as a key strength and notes the importance of strategy, patience, and composure in every fight.
Beating JDM to win that welterweight title?
It's a tough fight. That's a very tough fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, I think those are my 3 favorite fighters in the UFC right now. You go Islam, Topuria, and he's fun to watch. So I mean, that's gonna be a great fight. You know, he's no slouch at wrestling, but you have a guy that's wrestled his whole life and grappled his whole life versus JDM. He's kind of like, he's secondary on that, but you know, you never know. He's a bigger guy. So, you know, we'll see how Islam, how he bulks up and how he looks. He looks a lot bigger than what I remember. I used to train with him forever. So, I mean, he's definitely grown, you know.
Yoel Romero also weighed in, calling Jack Della Maddalena a serious threat to Islam Makhachev. He praised Jack's cardio, striking, underrated wrestling, and physicality, calling the fight a true 50-50 battle, with JDM having the tools to compete with anyone at 170, including the champion.
So, honestly, I think Islam probably take it down. Like, Islam's wrestling really good. Like, even with me, I like really commit to it. I took it down. Their team's so good at like hacking it, game plan and sticking to it.
You said that you kind of abandoned the game plan a little. You think if you got a rematch, you would change the game plan a bit?
No, I mean, honestly, I think I won three rounds, but you have to go out there and make it more clear. When you get into the cage and you're fighting, right? You get into that, like, all right, I feel like striking. Let's keep going. I'll do well with it. Let's keep going. If your coach is trying to get you to focus on the game plan again, it's like, man, I'm doing well with it. You're thinking you're doing better than you are. Every fight, you gain something from.
That's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this epic matchup between JDM and Islam? Drop your predictions in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more great content.